Hello and welcome. Welcome to Around the Town with Mark. I am Mark Whalen, your host, and we're always glad to have you tune in and visit with us. Well, this is the time of year where all over our area there's all kinds of great events, great things to see and to do. Today we're going to be talking about a great event, something that we definitely want you to see and do, and that would be Art on Groton Bank, a wonderful outdoor art festival held on the grounds of the beautiful Bill Memorial Library. This year, we're going to be Saturday, July 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we just take over the grounds of this beautiful library with this great festival. Well, today, as my guests, I have two people that are responsible for helping make this great event happen. And just full disclosure, I'm also on the committee, so I help a little bit as well. So allow me to introduce my guests. I have Hali, Keeler, and Liz McGee. Welcome to you both to Around the Town with Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for asking.
I'd like to start by asking you each to sort of introduce yourselves to our audience and give us a little bit of background as to what your connection was with Art on Groton Bank. Hali, I'll start with you.
Sure, Mark. I was the director of Bill Memorial Library, retired now 4 years, after 35 years there.
Wow,
I started very young. And about 11, 12 years ago, I think, Audrey Hurd, a local artist who lived in a eclectic little house behind the library, came up and said, you know, I've got this idea for an art show. And she's a prolific artist. She says, why don't we use the grounds of the library? We'll invite artists to come. We'll have food. She had themes. And we'll have an art show. And it will celebrate the city of Groton and all the local artists. And her first plan was to have 3 shows a year. I think the first year we did.
Really?
I think we had 3 the first year. It practically it made sense to have 1 show a year, and we've been doing that.
I'm so glad it's down to 1.
I know,
It would have been really too much.
It was exhausting. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
But Audrey was the brains behind it, and she had a way of getting people to work with her by saying, well, why don't we do this? And, you know, and why don't you help? And
She was a personality.
she absolutely was. And next thing you knew, you were at her beck and call and would do almost anything she asked you to do. She was an excellent manager.
Yes, she was.
And so now this is our 11th year, I believe.
That is correct.
And it's amazing how it's grown. It went from being a very small show on the northern part of the library lawn, where there was a fence. I think there's still a fence there. And Audrey wanted to use the fence to hang the paintings. That was her vision.
Yes, it was.
And now it's expanded because there's so many people participating. It's now on the side lot, which is it was on the west, the west side. Now it's on the, no, it's on the south side. Now it's on the north.
The
big, huge area is the
Right,
north.
the grassy
And it's a
area.
huge, huge lawn, which is perfect. It's a carnival, like a carnival now.
And what's so nice about the location too is it's up high on Groton Bank, so
Yeah.
you in the summertime you can get the nice breezes and
Oh,
nice-
yes.
It's a very scenic, very
Yeah.
lots of
lovely
nice
area.
trees and that type
Yeah.
of thing. So
a
Liz, tell
beautiful
us
setting.
about your background with Art on Groton Bank and how you've been contributing all these years. And I know you are our resident artist, I must say, on the committee.
Well, I'm one. Well, I'm on the committee.
On the
but I'm
committee,
not-
and yep.
Yes,
yep.
but well, I'm a Groton Bank resident, and so to me, it's been very special to support something that's going on in my own backyard. I just happen to be an artist, professional artist, working for many years, and knew the show, knew Audrey as an artist by reputation, and I think I've been in the show at least 8 out of the 11 times. I look forward to it every summer. It's great. It's for me doing shows as an artist. It's like right down the road, so that's like such a plus.
Yeah.
But I love the show. I love Groton Bank. You're great head of the committee there, Mark, giving it a
thank
lot.
you.
Because I do a lot of the festivals
Thank you.
along the coast. I have the vision with you of making Groton Bank, Art on Groton Bank, one of the stops of the summer shows, especially for artists and for people that like to do this along the shore. So in 11th year, it's coming along great. But I also want, Groton Bank, I don't think enough people know. I also feel like it's part of it's promoting our little neck of the woods. Groton Bank is so historic. I'm so blessed in a lot of ways to have raised my family. I have two boys. They went down to the little school right down there that's right next to the library. It's a neighborhood.
Now closed, unfortunately.
And now closed, but at least
Yeah.
my two boys got to go there for grammar school. It was great. It's a throwback to the 50s kind of neighborhood. There's nothing, it's all good. And I'm so excited to participate this year.
Great. Well, I want to point out that the art that our viewers can see behind us is Liz's work. So you can get an example of not just how talented Liz is, but some of the things that you'll be able to see at Art and Groton Bank on the 15th. And it's certainly a beautiful example of some of the rich things that we have.
There's
Very
some
good.
amazing artists, Liz among them. Your work
It's
is
true. It's true.
extraordinary.
So I think we're just got no place to go but up.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, well, there's many things to talk about. I want to get back and talk about the area and some of the different things that we have.
I was just going to say, it has never rained on Art on Groton Bank. We might have had a couple of passing clouds. It's usually hot, but it's a great date if you ever want to get married. The third Saturday
Of July.
of July never rains.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Can I hold you to
Yes,
that
yes,
this
we
year,
are
please?
going to hold you to
God, I
it.
hope
You haven't
because
jinxed us now, have you?
It is under 10.
I know,
There is a lot of cover.
I shouldn't-
but,
I should have said that out loud.
Right.
Well, no, that's right. Everything's under tent, so we are a rain or shine event. It's a good
Right.
thing to
Right.
mention.
Right.
So everybody come out regardless of the weather because
Yeah, it's
we'll
a
be
great
there.
time.
But it is going to be a beautiful day.
Yeah,
and
we're
like you
always
said,
believing for the best.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, and like I said earlier, even if it's July, we do usually have the beautiful breezes up there because
Oh,
it's
yes.
so high and it's close to the river,
Yeah.
so that makes it great. Yeah, and you mentioned, I mean, we started out with just mostly primarily artists.
Yes,
And we are an art show, but
Right.
it's good to mention that too has grown.
that's right.
And I know this year we have people that do handmade jewelry.
Oh, yes.
And we have someone that comes and makes beautiful baskets and things.
Yeah.
We've got a wide range we've got some people that do sculpting work, and I mean it's grown.
Very high-end artisans are being
Yes,
attracted.
yes, yes.
And that's a plus.
Yes, but such a great diversity of
Right.
mediums and things like that, which
Right.
I think makes Art and Groton Bank more than just an art show.
Right.
And-
I'm glad you said that about artisans because lots of
Right.
times there are craft shows around
Right.
the area. And this is, I believe it's a step up from craft show because even though there are non-art items, as you said, they're artisans and their work is amazing.
Yeah, I know this is always, but Mystic has a lot of the shows. There is always a category for artisan ceramics, wood,
Yep.
Jewelry. These are all extremely important and wonderful art forms. So it's great and it's attracting quite a few. And I mean, I always like to sneak out of my booth and see
Yeah.
what's there and do some shopping.
Do your Christmas shopping.
Absolutely.
I was just going to say,
Absolutely.
you just took the words out of my mouth that I wanted to mention that everybody knows that this is also, you don't just look at art, you can buy art.
Absolutely. This is the fun
And
of
a
it. One
wide
of a
range
kind.
from a couple of dollars to something, that may be a special piece that someone would want to hang in their home. But
Absolutely.
we have a wide range of all kinds of things to.
Yeah.
Good opportunity for that Christmas shopping early, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's all kinds of things to buy. You don't have to just buy art. A lot of the artists, and I believe you also have cards.
Well, sure. You are Laura prints, cards. I do a lot of. I call it my little cottage industry. I have a
Yeah.
line of coasters and ornaments. With my
Right.
artwork, I put it on items. So it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
whether you're looking for a $20 gift for a friend or to be a real collector. I mean, all my collectors I want to come out.
Certainly,
Because
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yes,
And a lot of repeat buyers.
exactly.
Yeah.
People come,
Yeah.
they come, I was just talking to someone today, says, I love Art on Groton Bank. It's an event.
Well, it is, and like I like to say now, I've been doing this for 3 years, and I like to call it a festival
It is.
because it's more than just an art show. It really is a festival.
Well, it is.
With the
It
food
is.
and the music.
With food,
Well,
music,
again, yeah,
entertainment, children's activities.
Oh,
there's
yes.
Oh,
there's
we-
something for everyone. Absolutely.
There is, yes. And this year we've got live music going on pretty much from starting with 10 a.m. all the way to towards the end. And we've got delicious music. So yeah, there's a lot going on at Art and Groton Bank. And a flag line where people can make a little flag and fly it. And
Right.
a lot of those interactive activities.
Right.
And it's good to mention that really it's free.
Yes.
free admission, plenty of ample free parking. And I think that's a really important
Yes,
thing.
parking down there is really great. And plus, you should mention its location at the historic Bill Memorial Library, next to Fort Griswold and the monument.
Right.
So it is to me, a family day, because you can do the festival and enjoy it, but you can also, if you've never been to Fort Griswold, taking your family up how many steps is it up the monument?
160 something.
I mean, this is a great day to bring your family to Groton and to enjoy everything because there's a lot packed right into.
So make a whole
there.
Make a day of it.
Make a day of it. Yes, there's quite a bit.
Tell us some more about some of the other things that are going on. The Avery Cop House Museum is open. You mentioned
the Ebenezer Avery House.
Okay. Mother Bailey House?
Mother Bailey House is not open. That's
Okay.
that's another story.
Okay.
Let me just backtrack a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's an historic neighborhood, as
Right.
you mentioned,
Very
there
historic.
are lots of historic homes that are now museums. The Avery Cop House right down on Thames Street is a beautiful
Very nice.
colonial turned Victorian house museum that's been in the same family since the 1800s, and it's open to the public on that day. It will be open from, I believe, 11 to 3.
Okay, perfect timing.
The Ebenezer Avery House is down in the fort. It used to be down
another
on
great
Thames Street. Yep.
Their gardens.
Yep, the gardens are beautiful. The house is open to the public. There are small fees that, to offset the running the museums.
Sure.
The Monument House will be open. The
Museum. Is that, you mean Monument
Monument House Museum. Yep.
right?
And the tower, the monument itself, you can
Yep.
climb. The views from the top of that monument are unbelievable, beautiful. Now, the Mother Bailey House, also on Thames Street, is a very famous historic building. Mother Bailey, as a child, helped Dr. Prentice, whose house is the original Mother Bailey house is actually the Dr. Prentice house. She helped him at the Battle of Fort Griswold, the Battle of Groton Heights,
Right.
tend to the wounded. And then eventually when she grew up, married Elijah Bailey, and ended up in what was called the Mother Bailey house. It's actually the Elijah Prentice house. And over the years, Mr. Bailey was the postmaster. It was the post office in the city. It was a tavern, visited by numerous presidents. It has legendary history. It's not open to the public right now because it's been owned by the city of Groton for a number of years to save it from itself. It was in very poor shape and was not being cared for. The city has managed to maintain it. They've recently done some structural repairs, but it is not yet open to the public. And the Mother Bailey chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution are in the process now. They formed a friends group, the Friends of Mother Bailey House, and you can contact the local chapter of the DAR if you'd like to join and support them. And they are working to take possession of the Mother Bailey house and open it as a visitor center with plans to exhibit different parts of the house, different historic aspects of the house, including possibly recreating the tavern in the basement. So it's going to take a lot of work to get Mother Bailey House.
A great asset.
But it'll be a great asset to the history, to
it
the
will
bank.
be wonderful.
Yeah. And of course, the Bill Memorial Library.
The Bill Memorial Library, yes.
Yes.
Bill Memorial Library, built in I get mixed up with my own house because they're all around the same time in the same neighborhood.
Historic home, yes.
Yeah. 1890 and added on to around 1906, the museum wing, which is now the reference room.
It's a beautiful
Richardson
historic.
Beautiful structure. And the second floor, because it's also, don't they still have the exhibit on the second floor?
Yeah, there's a museum on the second floor.
That is again, there is a lot to do.
Yeah.
And I just want to make one last thing. When you come, there's also, because one of our sponsors, Paul's Pasta,
Oh,
right
yes.
down the road.
Right down the road.
Oh, yes.
So when you
Yeah.
get hungry, you can always go and sit out on the deck, see
Or-
all the traffic on the Thames River. It's a wonderful spot.
Get your lunch to take out and come up and eat it on the lawns
Exactly.
in front of the school next door. There's great lawns, breezes. Or eat it in the fort.
Or we'll also have a tent
That's
available
right,
with chairs
with
and
food.
tables for people, because
Exactly.
we'll be selling food as well.
Right.
Where so it's a great opportunity to stop by Paul's Pasta and
Yes.
bring up for lunch. And we must make mention the water taxi.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
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 Oh, my goodness gracious.
You don't have to
To the
drive.
fun list of
Right, you
things.
don't have to drive to Groton. You can just take the taxi from New London.
Exactly
And it's
right.
right down the road. It's so perfectly situated
Well,
to
I
get
mean,
to.
there's no
This is
excuse
great.
not to come to Art and Groton Bank.
No.
By
And
taxi.
invite people in, have them come you can get off the train from New York or Boston
yes.
and
Right in New London.
It's
right in
true,
New
it's
London,
true.
and it's a short 10-minute boat ride and a short walk, and you're at Art and Groton Bank,
That's right.
and vice versa.
Right straight up the hill, so you get
Yeah.
a good workout, but it's a beautiful.
Or come to
Walk.
Art and Groton Bank, get your lunch. You can take your lunch on the water taxi,
Mm-hmm.
and have a ride on the water.
And
Yeah,
you can
the-
stop
Have
in New
your-
London and have ice cream.
And
New
there you
London in
go.
itself, it keeps lending itself to a great day between the bank and Bank Street. Our bank and Bank Street.
and the
It
bank
lands
across
at,
the river.
Right.
Exactly. Doesn't it land at the wharf in New London and then
That's
at
right.
Fort
Trumbull.
Fort Trumbull.
Trumbull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
those are the
very
two
good
stops.
locations.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a triangle
It's a
that
little
runs.
triangle.
So yeah, again, you can not just go to New London, but you could see the Fort
Fort
Trumbull.
yeah.
and
Which is beautiful.
so I mean, talk about
It's
where
a
else.
win-win. You can. This is a great little festival. I'm very excited, and to continue to see it grow and really become a destination spot for artists and people that want one of those beautiful summer days on the water to do art.
Where
and
else can you go and have so much right there to do for a day?
Oh, yeah.
You've got
For
the
free.
art, all for free, parking
Right.
free, ample free parking. But you can take a ride on a water taxi, take a boat
That's
ride.
not free.
That's not free. No, no.
That's
but,
$10.
But it's $10, which is
But
is
well worth
well
it. It's
worth
a great
it.
little.
Yeah, yeah.
excursion.
You don't. You can come to Art and Groton Bank without ever having to get on 95 across the Gold Star Bridge.
That's right.
Yeah,
And that's a plus.
yeah, and that's a plus.
And while you're
Summer.
there, stroll around the neighborhood, see the historic homes, go to the Avery Cop Museum, the Ebenezer Avery Museum, the Monument House Museum, and then just look at the beautiful homes in the neighborhood. It's a great walking neighborhood.
It's a great walking neighborhood.
Which
And
we do all the time.
Exactly.
We always see each other
We're always
walking.
waving to each other. But we also, I know in past years, we have one of our resident historians do a walking tour.
Yes, that's
who-
right.
Not available this year, but it is something
Right.
that I think will be part of the
Mm-hmm.
show in future years to get, because I think we're a little jewel, an undiscovered jewel, or on the river here, or on the shoreline, southeastern Connecticut. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of history.
Best kept secret.
The best kept secret. That's what Tom always was saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was
yeah.
a great advocate. So it's time for.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's our area in general is very, very, very rich with history.
It
We're
is.
very fortunate all around Groton area to have all kinds of rich history, but it seems to really concentrate so much in the Groton Bank
Oh,
area.
yes.
With all what we've been talking about between the monument and the beautiful historic homes and the library and just
Because I don't know. I think it's 1606. Now, I'm not the history. Is that correct? That Groton Bank was founded, I believe.
I'm trying to picture the sign.
I know. I've
the
seen
little
it,
plaques in my,
but it is
I thought it
very.
was 1696. but I could be
1696. It's
wrong.
very. It's
Yeah.
right there in the beginning.
it's
so
It's old.
it's all.
And actually, at
Yeah.
that point, what we call Thames Street now is called Bank Street because it was on the banks of the
Exactly.
Thames River.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
So-
called Groton Heights or Groton Bank because of that.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us a little bit more about the library. Obviously, will be open that day.
Oh, yes.
And is there? I think there's a book sale as well. Could you tell us a
Yep,
little
the
bit
Friends of
about
the
that?
Library have their book sale at the same time. There's no end to the ways you can spend your money that day. Yeah, the library is amazing. A lot of people look at it and first of all they say, did it used to be a house? No, it was always a library. It was a little bit smaller, but it was given to the town of Groton by Frederick Bill. In 1888, it was housed in the school for a while. The building was built in 1890, and it was the first and only library in Groton until the Mystic Library was created, maybe within 10 years. But
Very
again,
similar in architecture.
similar. But the distance between Groton Bank and Mystic that long ago,
It's huge.
it may as well have been two different cities. And the public library wasn't created until the 50s. So it was the only library in town, and it's a remarkable library. People still think, well, because it's old, it can't be modern, but it's unbelievably modern. It has everything that larger libraries have, just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, and you can go to the library, and you can go on the internet.
Oh, yes,
and
absolutely.
In addition to the books, you've got a historical collection, I believe, as
There's
well.
Yep, upstairs we have a collection of butterflies
Oh,
and some stuffed birds, the walrus head, and there's a heron. And there are also gorgeous paintings in and around the library. The library collected over the years a lot of paintings.
It has beautiful architecture, the furniture.
Oh yeah, everything in the
Everything
library.
in it is very historic and very
Much
well
of it is
appointed.
original to the building. The original front desk, some of the chairs. There's a grandfather clock that was given by Ledyard Bill.
That's right.
wow.
That-
So tremendous amount of history in that building.
There's history in the building, but it is as current and up to date as any library anywhere in terms of its resources. It's just packed into a smaller package.
And it's good to make mention that Art and Groton Bank is a non-profit
Yes.
fundraising event
Right.
For the library.
It was-
for the library.
As,
Yes.
That's right. As Audrey originally planned it, she said, we'll do it on the library's lawn and then we'll give money to the library.
Yep.
And it's what Art and Groton Bank is able to make a donation most years, which the library appreciates.
You know, well, I'd like to make mention out there that we are always looking for sponsorships.
And it's not too late.
Because, as I said, we are a nonprofit, so to produce this great event does come with a price tag.
Oh, absolutely.
And we need to cover that price tag as best we can.
Without raising fees.
And we have not, as far as I know, in the 11 years now, our fee has remained the same for the artists, which, Liz, you can talk about. I think you could say that it's
It's very affordable. And
very reasonable
it's very
compared
reasonable.
to other shows.
As someone who does shows, and I also want to say there's still time if you are an artist. There is time.
Oh, there's
I believe
plenty
your
of time.
cutoff was July 6th.
Well, July 6th
still?
is you can sign up as I'll take your if we can
Show
find
up
room for you.
with a palette.
But July 6th is our deadline if you want to be in our
into
printed
print.
material.
Right. And there's a website. You can link your
Yes.
website. You can.
Yep,
get
right on the
pictures.
screen is our
There's a
our
Facebook
website.
page. So if you're an artist, there's definitely room to get some publicity between the Facebook page, the website. There's print that goes out all the time. There are a lot of boost posts.
Yeah.
One thing that I'll make mention because we do give free tables and chairs. But they are first come first serve. But compliments of the Parks and Recs department from the city of Groton, they do supply us with tables and chairs that we offer free to our participation artists. And we also will rent tents at $10 a piece for a 10 by 10 tent. And the space that everybody gets is a 10 by 10, but with enough area so there's some breathing room around that. But I will say that we are running out of tents. So if you're an artist or an artisan out there looking to join us and you do need a tent, please don't hesitate to contact me through that website right there or through Around the Town with Mark. I wear both hats. And we'll certainly do our best to accommodate you. But tents are becoming a short supply right about now.
But of course, if you have your own tent.
Oh, of course,
Absolutely,
yes.
you can bring your
yes.
own. There
Yeah.
will be people to help you set up.
Yep.
We are
very
thank
Full
you
well
so much.
service. It's a full
organized.
service.
Thank you for
art show.
mentioning that because our thanks go out to our military, the Navy.
We always have volunteers.
We always have a wonderful crew of volunteers
Right.
that help our artists and artisans not only set up their tents and tables, but break them down and as well. We allow our artists to unload their vehicle at their site.
Very close.
We ask them that we limit the time to unloading only because obviously there's a lot of traffic and
Right.
this is a safety issue. But parking for our artists as well is just a very short walk away.
Very
So there's
convenient.
free parking, not
There
just for
is.
our visitors, but there's free, easy parking for anyone that participates with us. So
I wish we had our logo. We have a wonderful logo. Art on Greg, that Audrey did just a spectacular job. I think
Well,
it's my favorite.
Anyone has to do is go to our website, and our logo will be right there. And we're thinking this year that we might even be selling some T-shirts. So we're,
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're trying
we're
to.
gonna work.
We're working on that. We're working on a lot of things to really make this a real fun event. And I know I've been doing it, as I said earlier, for 3 years now, and each year it gets more and more gratifying because the response that we get from people is so great. It really is.
And it's always the third Saturday of July.
Always the third, yeah.
Because people will say, well, when is it, or when was it, or how did I miss it?
So that's an easy way to calculate. Third
just
Sunday.
Third Sunday of July.
Third Saturday.
Third Saturday.
Third Saturday.
Of July. Just put on your calendar every year.
Every year, yeah. Well, we try to also, our website, and we try to keep that up to date as best as we can. And we also offer, which any artist can sign up through the website as well, and we offer that they can send us some images, and we'll put that on our website.
And
of
Facebook
course,
page.
anyone that participates as well gets a mention in our program.
As do the sponsors.
As do the sponsors, yes, yes indeed, yes indeed.
So it's a great family event.
It is. Well, I want to thank you both for being my guests today to talk about Art in Groton Bank. You've certainly been great telling our audience all the great things that there is coming up to do.
Thank you for having us, Mark.
Thank
it's
you,
our
Mark.
pleasure.
Yeah, is there anything that I've
See you
forgotten?
on the 15th.
Anything
of
I've forgotten
July.
that I haven't mentioned that we should talk over yet?
Show up.
Show up. Terrific. Well, again, thank you both very much. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank my viewers for tuning in to Around the Town with Mark. I always appreciate having you watch our show. And we are taped here down at the SEC TV studios between Benny's and the post office. Again, the SEC studios is also a nonprofit. So by watching us, you're also supporting the studio. And remember to put July 15th, Saturday, on your calendar, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come down to Art in Groton Bank. Have a wonderful day, have a meal, listen to some live music, visit the library, have a walking tour, take a boat ride over into New London. There's just so much to do. Free parking, it's all there for you. So again, thank you for tuning in to Around the Town with Mark today, and we're going to see you back here real soon.